AI photography now is kind of where HDR photography was in about 2008, when everyone was just using Photomatix to auto blend their bracketed exposures. Most people can spot it because it has a very distinctive look, but for those who think that AI is destroying the art of photography, I think they're just looking at things the wrong way. So in this video, I'm showing you an AI that I made that can make your photography more authentic and more prolific than ever. And it will guarantee that you never run out of photography ideas. So let's jump over to the screen and I'll show you what it is and how it works. So this is a new portal, a whole new sort of area that I'm developing on the Photo Mastery Club website. And I'll show you how to get access to this if you want it. But first, I'll show you what the Photography Scout section is specifically, because that's what this is all about in this video. I'll also show you, if you don't want this, if you want to kind of use AI, if you want to use ChatGPT or that kind of thing, if you have a subscription with one of those, I'll show you how you can do a kind of similar thing in your existing subscriptions. But yeah, let's have a look. So Photography Scout, that might be giving you an idea of what this is about already, but let me click this and I'll just walk you through. So here we have two sections here. We've got a bunch of these things that I've created in the past, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. But the main idea here is, if you're looking for inspiration and you are maybe researching a location that you haven't been before, or if you just want to take photos near to your home, you just want to pop out one afternoon but you've got no idea what you want to take a photo of, this is going to give you some ideas. So we've got three drop downs. The genre, I'm going to guess you're probably going to be using landscapes here, statistically speaking, but there's got all these other options here you can select from. We'll use landscapes. But then we've got a style we can choose from. So you can pick any of these: fine art, HDR, etc., composite, film, moody, documentary. We'll keep fine art. And if you specifically feel like using a particular piece of equipment, like your wide angle lens telephoto or your drone or whatever, then you can select that here. I'll leave that unselected, and then we're going to type in a location. So this is where the power really sort of comes into play. So let me just let's pick something near to home. Let's say Austinmere Headland, New South Wales. That's just down the coast from where I live. And if you want to give it any extra information, like I'll be there at sunrise for about an hour, any extra information that you can give it, it's going to work that into the suggestions. And then we click this generate shoot idea, and it's going to go off, and using I've designed the kind of the prompt in the background to integrate all of these ideas, and then go off and get a suggestion from the AI based specifically on what we've entered here. Now I'll show you an even more powerful method that's actually built on my Storybricks method training. So this is more of a general one, and this is the kind of thing that you can do with your own AI subscription. Say if you have ChatGPT already, you can ask it questions and give it information, and it's going to give you something like this. So for example, I mean, yeah, sunrise landscape brief, Austinmere Headland. It's given us some general information. I won't read all of this. It's going to make for a boring video if I just read through the whole thing, but it's giving us a shot list. Low angle leading lines on the rock platform, lens suggestions, setting suggestions, composition, use cracks and channels as lines to the horizon. I mean, the level of actual information that it knows like about these locations is quite phenomenal. Yeah, and it's giving us a bunch of shot ideas: minimal horizon with ocean pool edge, yeah, reflection study in the tide pools, compressed abstracts. You know, so basically, if you want like a general, you know where you're going, and you just want some ideas, then just come here, and it's going to give you something like this with, again, practical notes. And you can save this as a PDF if you want to just print it off and take it with you. So if I click that button, we've got a PDF now that you can save. Now let me show you another example just here of one that I did earlier this morning. Show prompt. So this is one I gave it some instructions. I said, just in theory, I said I'm going to Iceland for 10 days and I'm going to have a camper van. Give me 6, I can't remember, did I say 6? Give me some ideas of landmarks, plus also interesting places that aren't the typical shot. And it created a whole plan for me telling us classic frame, Kirchhoff aligned with the tiers of the Kirchhoff Foss, blah, blah, blah. Other compositions. Use the river upstream for an S-curve. Tight telephoto of the mountains. Striations. I'm not going to pretend I know what that means. And it's, yeah, like, so whatever you give it in that little additional information there, give it as much information as you can or as you want. And the better information you give it, the better results you're going to get. Now, let me show you this over here, the Storybrick suggestion. So this is where it can really give you some unique ideas based literally on my training, the Storybricks method. So the Storybricks method is a system of capturing like a whole range of different types of images away from the kind of the classic, let's say the classic composition. So, you know, if you're sick of shooting the same old boring compositions, or you're somewhere boring and there isn't like a classic epic landscape, then you can use the Storybrick method's suggestions and ideas to actually go out and just, it helps you find shots that you never thought were there before. I've built that methodology into this suggestion maker. So what you can do here now is, well, let's keep Ostermere Headland. I won't give it any extra information. Maybe I'll say sunrise. And we can create the Storybricks ideas. So the Storybricks method is a mini course. It's also part of, it's one of the components in my landscape photography accelerator. I'll put a link below this video, because if you sign up now during the pre-release for the accelerator, then you get 6 months free use of this Photography Scout in my Photo Mastery Club portal. So yeah, click that link in the description under the video and all the details are on there. Like I said, 6 months free. This will be something that I'll be charging $10 a month for, just for the Photography Scout section, because it does, you know, every time we click this button, it's going off and using third-party systems that do cost. So, you know, I can't make this totally free. But if you get the Landscape Photography Accelerator, then yeah, 6 months free. You get to use this. So it does take a minute or so to generate the suggestions. Let's wait for that to happen. Oh, okay, there we go. So 5 Storybrick compositions for Ostermere Headland. So yeah, basically it's giving us all of these different things. And the way to use this, if you have the course or if you get the get the Landscape Photography Accelerator and you go through the Storybricks method course, that really does give you the kind of the toolkit to find these kind of suggestions, and to find these compositions for yourself. It really does just open the floodgates of being able to see shots that you never saw before. But using this, I'm not going to say it's going to replace that, because you don't need to replace it, because the method works so well, I think. But it's a great way to get started, because all you need, I've found, is just getting over the inertia of taking that first couple of shots, just finding the first couple of shots, and then the floodgates open. So here we've got inspiration, detail, details of every type of Storybrick, and suggestions on exactly how to take a photo like that. So you might find, this Storybrick number 4 here, this, what's this suggesting? Just the L-shaped corner of an ocean pool with the sheet of water spilling over. That sounds like a nice shot. The photo is about the strong geometry and flow, not the whole pool. Maybe if you just do this before you head out and you take that first photo, who knows what it then leads next to. That is, again, you can save that as a PDF, take it with you. It's a good starting point just to get the ball rolling, and you'll find that you're coming home with so many more shots than you're used to. If you're anything like me, who, there was times where I'd come home, I think 8 photo shoots was my record of going out and coming home with nothing, because I just didn't feel inspired, because the sunrise wasn't perfect, and I couldn't find an epic composition, and everything looked crap because the light was harsh by the time the sun came up in a clear sky and all that. If I was doing this back then, I'd have hundreds of photos more just from those 8 shoots. I remember 8 in a row I got to, I'm pretty sure, where it was like a really dark period for my inspiration. So yeah, this, anyone who has this, anyone who uses the Storybricks method, whether that's just in the course or using this Photography Scout in my Photo Mastery Club portal, hopefully that's something you never have to worry about again. So if you want to learn more, check the link in the description below the video, and yeah, we'll see you there.